Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I think we have an interesting topic this morning. It was on my mind as I was getting ready to have my cup of coffee. And I was like, you know what? I have something that I was thinking about when I was reading my cup of coffee, when I was reading the words that were on my cup of coffee, which was having access to opportunities, right? And what does that look like in being in proximity to resources? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. I'm going to grab my cup of coffee real fast while you guys parlay a little bit. I got this cup from Kalima. It says, "Women belong in all places where decisions are being made." See that? Women belong in all places where decisions are being made. But what I found is that's not actually the experience of a lot of women. And so what happens is that we end up having opportunities that we're not in those places to be able to make those decisions. Other than that, then a coffee cup like this wouldn't even be needed to be said, right? Women belong in all places where decisions are being made. When you are left out of the conversation and you're not even at the table, then you're not able to put your insight. You're not able to gather and use those resources for your own benefit, to advance your own career, to advance um, a goal that you might be having. And so this is what we look at when we talk about the wealth gap. Having managed employees and being in those rooms, I know that it makes a world of difference. How much is your salary going to be? How many days off? Who's going to get laid off? How do we decide who's getting laid off based off of their performance or even personality? What are the benchmarks and measurements that are being used? Um, at every level, we want to be in those rooms. We want to be able to have proximity to resources. And what that looks like, even if we talk about advancement, you look at network opportunities. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples of how you can be um, in proximity to resources, and then some things that you might want to add to your tool chest. So grab a pen, grab some paper. The live stream is going on. I'm going to be looking out for comments. So hold on just one moment. I'm going to take this. All right, cool. All right. Networking events. So major business decisions are made at networking events. People might have side conversations in which they are pulling their resources to be able to determine upcoming projects or initiatives. You want to be at these networking events as much as possible. This networking event is something that you don't have to be invited to. So look at companies or organizations that are doing things similar to what you want to do, and be in those spaces. Find those spaces, be in those spaces, and have your business cards ready. Be professional. Have at least three things that you want to talk about. Something that you're passionate about, that you're working on, or something that you might want to move forward. right? And then learn as much as you can. Find out what other people are working on. See if you can help them move their initiative forward so that you can work together. So, a networking event is something that will bring you potential mentors or even investors. Those are the things that you want to be in the room for. Mentorship programs. If you don't have access to a mentorship program, then you can, if you live in a larger city, for example, you're going to look for your chambers, you're going to look for other community development, like entrepreneur type organizations. I know in Tampa that there's a lot, but in most major cities, they're going to have a lot where you can be involved. And set up time with the organization leaders and say, hey, this is who I am and this was what I'm about. I'm gonna get on your organizational leaders, because if people are trying to be in these spaces because they're looking for these opportunities, make sure that you make yourself available. I think sometimes we are too unavailable. We have ourselves where we're too important, but what we're really there to do is to serve the people. So if you are an organizational leader of a mentorship program, make yourself available so that you can hear from your constituents so that you can help them move forward. But this is another way that you can advance your career or advance your business, is trying to find a mentorship program. Another one is professional development. Go to the workshops, go to the seminars, go to trainings, go to programs that are going to help increase your aptitude, maybe a skill. And then if you're in the workplace, let your manager know. I love it. I would always tell my employees, here's some upcoming workshops or seminars that you can go to. But if they were to come to me and say, hey, Shakira, I just want to let you know on my own time, this is something that I did. Oh, man, really? Okay. Because it's my objective as a leader to make sure that I'm creating a pedestal for the next person to be able to leap from. It's my objective as a leader to make sure that I'm developing my employees, so that they can get to the next level. And so professional development is essential to your career advancement. Um, you want to be in as many spaces where you can have access to opportunities, because sometimes on the more casual encounters, we're not in the room, and so you want to create those opportunities for your own career advancement. We want to be more intentional about what we're doing. I remember I had a mentor tell me, like, every 2 years, you should really be looking at advancing and going to the next level. So if you've been on your job or at your same position, what's next for you? What are you interested in? You can take those same set of skills and maybe you can use it in an industry that you never thought of. Maybe you can use it in a different department that you never thought of. We have to advance. And for me, this is all part of financial well-being. It's not just financial coaching. It's not just, saving and budgeting. There's so much more that goes into financial management. And a lot of that is our intentions as well. We want to make sure that we are strategically putting ourselves in position to do better. Why? Because it affects our family, it affects ourselves, it affects our lifestyle. Money is not just like, I want to have money just for sake of having money. No, it's not just like for the sake of just having money. You really want to be able to say, what kind of lifestyle do I want? What kind of experiences can I have? That's the reason why we want to do better. It's no fun. Let me see. I might have some note cards over here from a workshop that I did. Let me see if I can find some. And while I'm doing that, you guys, please, if you have any questions or comments, then you tell me. So I have some note cards here. Actually, I have a stack. Of index cards here. And when I'm doing a workshop, I ask probing questions so that I want to get the audience thinking. And so one of the questions that I asked was a financial setback, or I talk about financial setbacks or financial wins. Because we need to acknowledge both of them. From a financial setback, we can learn from that. From a financial win, we can learn from that. So this one talks about living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to get ahead because they didn't have the funds available. This one right here says a financial setback was that they got their car repossessed in 2008. They had to choose between getting their house foreclosed on or getting their car repossessed. This is what this says. And then on the back of it, because I have where they write on the front and then they write on the back. And then I asked them, how did that make them feel? It didn't feel bad at first. I actually felt good because I thought I made a great decision to keep my home during the global financial crisis. But they did feel bad. It was an obstacle in having to choose between having your house foreclosed on or having your car repossessed. So these are the reasons, these are the real life reasons why financial well-being is so important. Let me see. I'll read another one for you. This one says, I couldn't cover, I'm not just making these up, guys. These are real life scenarios. I couldn't cover the cost of materials. I had to get money and loans to complete it. They said they felt helpless. That's what they said. They felt helpless. So the reason why, for me, it's so important that we have these conversations is because I want you to be able to have peace of mind. I want you to be able to have tranquility. I want you to have information so that it can help you move forward. So another one is industry conferences. If you're not at industry conferences, like specific conferences to what you want to go, this will help you gain insights. It will help you make connections. It could possibly showcase your skills. So I'm leaving this week? This week coming up, actually for a conference in DC. This month alone in August, I've already been to 2 different conferences. And so you want to be able to be prepared, go to these, meet people, make connections. Even if you just meet one person or 2 people, that's still 1 or 2 persons more than you would have met had you have not gone. So we want to create opportunities and be in proximity to resources so that we can advance. We want to be more intentional about what we're doing with our career, with our business. If you have a question about your specific industry and how you might create opportunities for yourself, or if you have questions about, you're in a particular job right now and you want to know avenues at how to advance in that job, let me know. I've reviewed thousands of applicants, and my main job was to analyze their income, analyze their whole portfolio, analyze who they are. And so by doing so, it allows me to help others be able to analyze and assess where they are and how we can move or we can advance. So another thing would be an incubator, or an accelerator. You can join an incubator or accelerator, and these provide funding and mentorship and support. So if there's something specific to your industry, maybe an engineer, maybe you're a plumber, maybe whatever industry that's specific, find those incubators who are there to support you. Again, this is so that you have proximity to resources. Educational institutions, they also have a lot of opportunities that are there, that are just not only about going to the school there for your degree or for a certification. They also have support and networking, because again, we want to put ourselves in as many opportunities and put ourselves in proximity to these people who can help and who can advance, right? So this is what we're talking about. And another thing is, where do you live? What industries are major industries, high-end industries in the city that you live in that do what you do? I have made it's not by accident for myself that I've only worked for top tier financial institutions. That was strategic. That was something that I did. One of the careers I've worked for Lehman Brothers and Wall Street. I've worked for Citibank. I've worked for USAA. I've worked for PennyMac. It's not by accident that I worked for top tier financial institutions. In your particular area, who are the main players? Who is the industry leaders for your profession? Don't be scared to continue to go out for those positions. It makes a difference in your resume. When headhunters are looking and they see, all those different high-end financial institutions, it sets me apart from other people. So look for your geographic area and see who are the major players, who are the top tier companies that you can work for or that you can do business with. And it might take you a while to get on with that company, but even the quality of employment that you will receive being at one of those top tier institution, I can tell you it's going to be much different than a mom and pop shop unless it's your own, right? Because you'll be able to have ongoing education that they pay for. You'll be in an environment that's going to sharpen your skills because you're going to be with other employees that are sharp. I'm sure that there's going to be, competition. For me, I just look cute. I look this way, but being in a financial industry, you had to be a shark. You had to be a beast. It's very competitive. And it's very competitive to even get into management at a top tier financial institution. So you want to put yourself in spaces where you can sharpen your skills. You want to be around other colleagues who are also going to sharpen you. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to be able to learn from other people. I want my mind to be open to where is my deficiency? Where is my blind spot? What don't I know? As I was when I was a new underwriter, tax returns were very intimidating. And so that was the thing that I went after. It's like, I'm going to become an expert on tax return analysis. And so at one level that was on reviewing people's personal finances. But then as I evolved, it became doing tax return analysis for corporations, large corporations, and becoming good at that and becoming a subject matter expert at that. So look to see where's a blind spot in the business or the team that you're on and become phenomenal at that. But then you'll become the go-to person for that particular topic, and then repeat it, do it again. Infrastructure. Regulatory environment, understanding and knowing the policies, understanding the complexities, understanding the business, not just your particular job, but what is the overall vision of the leader? What is the overall vision? And even if you're a business owner, getting to know the regulators in your particular infrastructure business, getting to know them. What is the vision? What are some of the change makers? What do they want to see? And how can you fit yourself into that equation? I just want us to become more strategic about how we see the direction of our life and then going out for that. And all of that is because we want to create a better lifestyle for ourselves, for our family, more stability. We have a certain time frame in which we're going to be on this earth, like real talk, right? Or even time that we'll be able to be valuable to the workforce. So while we're here, we want to maximize that time. Here's another example of a financial setback that one of my attendees to a workshop said, that they bought a machine from an auction and then they weren't able to use it. So that was something that was a setback. This one right here was about their credit score. They had 2 years of back taxes, and they almost lost their house. They felt defeated, and that their house would be taken at any moment. The reason why I talk so much about financial well-being is I love people and I want people to be able to live out their hopes and dreams. And so all of these different index cards that you see right here are examples of people and their financial setbacks that they've had. and I'm here to help overcome them. So, this has been just a little bit of information today on how you can put yourself into proximity of resources so that you can advance and have more opportunities for yourself. One other thing that I think I would mention would be high profile projects. Whether you're on a job or whether you're in a business, try to find those high profile projects. I talked about working for high profile companies, but also look at high profile projects that you can volunteer, that you can work on, and that you'll be a part of that team. Um, Upper management is going to be able to see your work. Your other colleagues will be able to see your work. You'll be looked at for other opportunities once that project is completed. And I mean, I've worked on projects that had nothing, that seemingly didn't have anything to do with mortgage lending, but in the overall scheme, I've now worked and I'm familiar with robotics, project management. I help build out and automate systems. And so all of this goes to the depth and breadth of my resume and my experiences. And so don't be shy to go to your manager, and say, hey, I'm doing fairly well. I would like, if there's any upcoming projects, then I would like to be considered for those projects. And you also get to meet people in other departments that you might not have regularly worked on. What I'm saying basically is get outside of your comfort zone, right? Like I just want to, harness the energy and then go out and conquer. You have to be powerful. You have to be able to be centered. You have to be able to be intentional. And it's okay if you're going to get some no's, but you're going to get some yeses too. And you want to be able to add all of this experience so that you can go out and get more opportunities. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get outside your box and be that monster. You got to be able to have a little bit of that dog. I'm just telling you, you do, right? If you want to be successful, if you want to put yourself in the opportunity where you're not looking like 10 years later, man, I'm still doing the same thing, then you got to have some courage. You got to be able to have some of that. All right. It's Coach Shakira. Happy Saturday. Just a little something. Enjoy your Saturday. Let me know how I can support you. Let me know what you need. Let me know any kind of tips that you might need, or if you have a particular scenario that you want to discuss. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.